New this morning, the talk all around the world. The U.S. now confirms a video showing a second American journalist here being beheaded by ISIS is indeed authentic.
Meanwhile, President Obama is in Estonia today to stand in solidarity with Eastern European allies, worried about what Russia's doing in eastern Ukraine. But it is the video by Islamic militants that's trumped that trip. Mark Albert has a story from Washington.
I'm back because of your arrogant foreign policy towards the Islamic State.
On Tuesday, ISIS sent what it called a second message to America, a video showing the beheading of American journalist Steven Sotloff. They say it's in response to continued U.S. airstrikes against ISIS targets in Iraq.
Overnight, our government determined that tragically Steven was taken from us in a horrific act of violence.
The Sotloff family is grieving privately.
And those who make the mistake of harming Americans will learn that we will not forget and that our reach is long and that justice will be served.
In the latest ISIS video, the organization also threatened to kill another hostage, a British citizen identified as David Cawthorne Haynes. Ahead of President Obama's trip to Europe, he signed off on a request to send 350 additional U.S. troops to Baghdad to secure U.S. personnel and facilities there as Iraqi forces wage their own war against the terror group. At a NATO summit beginning tomorrow in Wales, President Obama will try to develop an international coalition to help defeat the terror group. Mark Albert for CBS News, Washington.
Well, at that NATO summit, world leaders will talk about the idea of engaging ISIS in Iraq and Syria. And of course, we will keep you updated with all the new developments. Back here at home in the metro area, it was a road rage incident where neither driver was about to let it go.
And that has one of those drivers in the hospital this morning. That driver was seriously hurt after being run over, and this driver got away. Both were going south on course Sunday afternoon when they said some choice words to each other. Surveillance video captures the moments after two drivers pulled into a Blake's parking lot off of Coors in the South Valley. The black truck makes a U-turn and the white truck rams into it.
Individual got out of the black truck and climbed in through the driver's window of the white pickup as it was driving off, and ultimately he ended up losing his grip and getting run over.
The driver who was run over is now in critical condition but is expected to survive. The Sheriff's Department is asking anyone with information on the white truck to call the non-emergency number. The white truck's bumper fell off in the parking lot, so it should have some front-end damage. Police say a janitor at Rio Rancho High School has confessed to raping young girls. Rio Rancho Public Schools fired Gary Brasino last month. The same day, a grand jury indicted him on rape charges. Police say all of the young women are family members. One girl was just 6 years old. They say at least one of the rapes happened at the high school but did not involve a student. Brasino is being held at the Sandoval County Jail. Liz.
Allegations of abuse and harsh treatment at immigration detention centers like the one in Artesia could not be proven. That is according to government officials. They've received complaints from advocacy groups alleging everything from illegal immigrants being packed into frigid cells to making them sleep on hardwood floors and not giving them adequate food or medical care. According to a federal investigation, inspectors were unable to substantiate any of those claims, but say they are still investigating another 100 complaints alleging sexual abuse. Investigators have made several unannounced visits to the facilities, including the detention center in Artesia, where more than 600 women and children are being held temporarily. Big heads up for you, PNM has posted a warning on its Facebook page. It's about imposters claiming to be with its home energy checkup program and visiting homes. PNM reminds you not to let anyone inside your home if they do not have a PNM badge and if they don't have an appointment with you.
Well, those closures that did not happen during the Labor Day weekend at the Paseo I-25 project will be coming soon.
Well, we had some technical difficulties last weekend, so rather than try and force the issue, we decided to step back, get those things resolved, and we'll be having those closures again probably this weekend, so there will be significant impacts to traffic.
And when that construction starts, it'll go on for a month for this specific part of it. It should be done by Balloon Fiesta, though. This closure, as we told you yesterday morning, will affect drivers getting onto Jefferson from westbound Paseo. It will probably start this week. We'll keep you posted about the latest closures here on News 13, and anytime, get updates at KRQE.com. And talk about a bumpy ride. If you've driven Central between I-25 and University, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Lots of ruts and potholes. Well, the city is now working to make it a smoother ride by repaving about a half-mile of Central. The project cost $500,000, and the city says it's needed now to make sure it doesn't cost more in the future.
The next step, if we don't do some of these types of projects, is the pavement will literally fall apart, and then it's a major reconstruct.
Well, the work here stops just past University, and there are a few reasons for that. First, limited money for the roads. It's expensive to do this. Another is Central east of University is in better shape, but the biggest factor is the future of the bus rapid transit system, the BRT. The city still doesn't know how the proposed BRT will affect Central. Until then, more paving on Central may have to wait. ABQ Ride is hoping to have a rough idea of how the BRT will affect Central next month. The current work should be done in about 2 weeks. Liz?
News 13 got a look at a dangerous secluded space few see in Albuquerque. We're talking about Albuquerque's underground. These tunnels run underneath Jefferson in the heart of the city. They are flood control channels that are a popular spot for graffiti, but the group in charge of maintaining them is worried people are putting themselves in a dangerous spot by being there.
It can be raining 5, 6, 7 miles from here and maybe even be clear here, and you'll get water flowing through this channel.
The most dangerous spot of all is halfway up the side of the Embudo Arroyo. It is cramped. It's a cramped drainage tunnel, as you can see here. The cramped space and height mean a flood could hit anyone inside very hard. Cops can cite people in the tunnels and arroyos for trespassing, but the Flood Control Authority does not have the power to hand out tickets or even kick people out. Instead, workers give kids pool passes with the hope that they will go somewhere else to play. The largest crowd ever came out to play at the record-breaking burning of Zozobra last week. Organizers used a drone and high-tech software to count the crowd. The drone went in quadrants, taking footage, and software that is 90% accurate counted everyone. Final attendance tally, 40,391 people. The number is actually higher because there were 2,000 police officers and volunteers in attendance as well, making sure that the event went smoothly, and it did. Get this, organizers say there were no arrests at this year's event, which moved to Friday this year.